Hello, my Rosa readers, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to go ahead and do the Journey into Imagination Dream Snaps voting. Oh my goodness, we already got some pretty cool looking ones to start with. I like this one. Wow. Um, these are oh, you brought in all the robots in this one, and I like this one with the statue. It looks like it got some really cool ones. Oh, I like this dress and will always like it, but you can't argue with this one. It looks very retro space. If anyone's seen the Lego movie, it's making me think Benny. I'm gonna go for that one. so, um, yeah, so this one was an interesting little setup. It took me a little while to try and figure out what I wanted to do, but it looks like a bunch of people had some really cool ideas. Ignore the little puppy that's squeaking her toy in the background right now. She's trying to get a little bit of attention. I'll be playing with her in a moment once I finish this. But yeah, we got some really cool ones this week. It's so cool to see everyone's, well, their journey into their imagination and what everyone comes up with. So, um, yeah, I wanted to. I mean, I was gonna say, oh, I've been trying to figure out an idea. Oh, what story idea to talk about, but this one, I'm just like, I'm over here having way too much fun looking at everyone's. I mean, they're very disco. This makes me think disco for sure, but I like that one too. A whole bunch of cool ones. Oh, this one was perfect. I like this one. This one's pretty cool too, but this one, yeah. Um, But I've been watching some videos on what everyone thinks is going to be coming up with the rest of well, the roadmap for the rest of the year. We have September. I mean, we got Ralph coming, we got Pooh coming next month, and then Ralph the month after that. And then in September, it looks like we're beginning, a couple Halloween things. That's the whole Star Path and whatnot. Are we going to be taking a break? Because this star path ends in a few weeks, as a matter of fact. Are we going to be getting another star path, which goes into August? And then after that, we got it going into September. We start the Halloween one. Goes obviously into October, which is when we're going to get the next one. So, which the purple and the bats. I know there's been quite a lot of. I mean, first thought is obviously Oogie Boogie. Everyone's thinking it's him. I mean, even I would be thinking it's him. You're seeing bats, Oogie Boogie. There's been talk of, the Great Mouse Detective, which we got clothing for the Great Mouse Detective, which means we're definitely going to be getting them in soon. When is another question. It'll be nice to see them, but they definitely fit the vibes with Ratigan, the greatest rat of all. Oh dear, I'm sure his minions are gonna come now try and kill me for calling him a rat. Anyways, but it's it's definitely one. Someone had suggested Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I'm like, I'd be open to that too. I would definitely want Hunchback of Notre Dame to be coming. I mean, there's a whole bunch of the old ones we've not gotten in yet. I mean, someone had mentioned Pinocchio for the December one, which would be like the blue fairy and the lights. That'd be perfect. Someone was thinking, oh, and I don't know if that would make sense, the lights, it's Christmas. But Jiminy Cricket was the ghost of Christmas past in the Mickey Mouse's Christmas Carol. He was. Ooh, I like this one. I like this one a lot, but I also like this one. Oh, why do you guys make it so hard to choose? I know I've been just like quickly voting here and I give much of a second thought, but we got some really good ones. I like it so much. Um, I'll go with that one. And that's so. Yeah, seriously, you guys are coming up with some good ones. But anyways, I'm gonna be showing mine here at the very end, and it's not the same. But anyways, Pinocchio was the idea. So there's two things for that I was thinking of. One, it could be the December one because Jiminy Cricket, like I said, was the Ghost of Christmas Past for the Christmas Carol with Scrooge McDuck. But that also means the Jack and the Beanstalk, or the Mickey Mouse and the Beanstalk giant, who was the ghost of Christmas Present, will probably have to come in at some point. I would so like to get him, and I really want the harp. I always liked that harp. The Harper Lady and Mickey Mouse and the Beanstalk. I really liked her. It was so great to get the Blue Fairy, too. And then that also leaves Pete, and then there's also Wind in the Willows and Sleepy Hollow. It would be nice to get Sleepy Hollow, too. That would be a great, though. That one, those two I could see being DLC since they're already packaged together. They could be a great DLC to have those two together. And then you get, what would it be? What was the thought I had? So the DLC, so I'm going to give a little pause here real quick while I talk just a moment. So I literally just had a thought. Well, that would be great for companions. What was it? Oh my gosh. Now I can't think of it. But, I mean, obviously, if you're going to be doing Wind in the Willows, you could do Toads. That would be a good one. Though, for me, I would think that would be better with Sleepy Hollow, but I'm also thinking of Over the Garden Wall. If we actually get Toads, I'm naming one Jason Funderburger. And I'll probably give the other frog some of the other names except for Word, that Greg came up with. So I'll, have all of them named to that. Because I do want to do a Over the Garden Wall build, and that will probably deal with a lot of the Sleepy Hollow elements. Then so that will be a good one for the Toad. My gosh, you guys, good ones. We could have Toads for one, so that'll be a good one to have Toads. And then, but like I said, I would probably be better off with Sleepy Hollow because you've got Toad Hall in the other one. But it would also be weird, to have toads or frogs even with Toad being anthropomorphic. And we got dogs, you got Goofy, but you also have Pluto. And so either one works, but I guess for me, it seems weird to have them in the same place. But either way could work. I definitely want Toads. We need to have frogs. So, yeah, those would be great in a DLC. Together. And maybe have a third one, just like with the rest of the DLC, there's 3 themes for each one, and that I think so. Those two, you have Sleepy Hollow, similar to a mix of The Bind and the Forgotten Lands, and then you'd have Toad Hall, which is kind of a mix of Wish Blossom Branch and maybe the English Countryside. Either or. And then I'm trying to think of a third one that could work. Because, like I said, those two are always packaged together. It's on the DVD. You get one, you get both. I'll probably come back to that. But then, what if Pinocchio, if it's not the one that's coming in December, what if it's part of the DLC? Because it is a watery one. And we got Pinocchio going to Paradise Island and saving Geppetto from the whale. It could be one of them. We got a couple months before we actually find out. No problem with that, obviously. But yeah, just a few thoughts. In the watery DLC, because it's obviously going to be watery. We've also always thought of Atlantis. We already know they're coming. We've got Eternity Isle, that's themed after Atlantis. I mean, that's so Atlantis coded that we're definitely going to get them at some point, either directly into the game or as a realm, more likely than another DLC. But you can obviously have some elements. Then there's obviously Atlantica, Ariel's kingdom. And then I also had a thought. Ursula had mentioned that there was almost another realm underneath the valley, which is how she traveled through their waterways, their little connecting waterways. So she had her own little portals, if you could say, from the ocean to the ponds. What if it's referencing that? I mean, it probably wouldn't have the connections underneath the valley, but it could be that too. And so you'd get Atlantica, you'd get, Finding Nemo. That'll be the best place for them. I would love to get Flounder and Sebastian. And then people are saying Luca. That's an option too. All the underwater stuff. You could just do all the underwater stuff there. They were also saying Atlantis, but like I said, we've already got a very Atlantean themed island, so probably not. But it's possible that they could be part of it too. But yeah, just some theories of mine concerning that. Our little imagination. And as for my imagination, I still got stories that I want to work on, which a lot of this seems to will be tying into. Ooh, I like this so much. I like this too. This I like so much. I'm gonna go with that one. And yeah, there's a lot. I'll just say, there's a lot to think about. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple more here. I don't want to stop voting. There's so many good ones. Oh my gosh. Like I said, there's so many good ones. I'll do this. Sorry to these lovely two, but I'm gonna back out now and show mine real quick. And so this one's mine, as you can see, in comparison to some of the others. It's not as good. My imagination takes a different turn. But also, again, as I had mentioned in a previous video, my imagination also takes a turn in such a way that what I see, I don't always have everything to place for what I see or want to see, if you will. And so I'll throw something like this together just to kind of fit the theme. And as a matter of fact, as you can see back here, this is where I was referring to. This is on that a little Eternity floating island. You get that's Atlantis back there. That is Atlantis. We've got it. Well, that was the other one. Treasure Planet. That's gonna be Bower in outer space, though. We did Treasure Island and Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, that's definitely on the sea. But Treasure Planet's in outer space. It would be nice to get the realm for that, though. That would be nice, and have that tie in. But yeah, this is Atlantis. So we technically already have the Atlantis island. We just need the characters and the lava dog. That should be another companion, is the lava dog. That'll be super awesome. One of the few good things from the sequel, those little 3 episodes that became a sequel movie. But yeah, so let me know what you think of my ideas in the comments below, and talk to you next time. I'm gonna try and get a few more videos out here shortly. I've got a new job, so I'm gonna be starting next week, and so my ability to make videos, granted, not that I was making videos before, but it's taken me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do, and so I'm just throwing out willy-nilly what I can. But anyways, um, it'll be a little bit more sporadic, but they'll be coming, and I'll be writing as well. So we shall see how things go from there. Otherwise, um, hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.